Next on the news, students in the Diocese of Brooklyn honor our heroes, celebrating Veterans Day early and bringing history to life with firsthand stories from those who served.
You are not going to hear these experiences or these types of stories in any history book.
It's showing the importance of 1, education, 2, growth, and 3, just, being a better person.
And the bishops are in Baltimore. What's on the agenda as their fall meeting gets underway? A break in the shutdown stalemate may be in sight, but while federal workers wait, Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens is stepping in to help. Students celebrate St. Leo, the namesake of their Queen's Church and the first American Pope. I'm Katie Vasquez. Currents News starts right now. They unveiled artwork with meaning. Students from Our Lady of Hope Catholic Academy memorialized modern-day heroes who have served God and their country. The kids from Middle Village, Queens put pencil to paper, depicting military veterans in art, but also speaking with them one-on-one so they could share their stories. I spoke with them ahead of their grand unveiling as the young Picassos memorialize these brave men and women. These sketches are not the imagination of these 7th graders. They are real-life people, veterans visiting Our Lady of Hope Catholic Academy.
I'm just nervous to make sure she looks good and not mess this up.
I would say I'm a good artist, but not so great.
The principal did a similar event at a previous school and wanted to bring it to the students in Middle Village, Queens.
This is basically bringing history to life for them and making it real. You are not going to hear these experiences or these types of stories in any history book, and this will be something that they take away and keep with them for a long time.
First, they take time to get to know the men and women who served our country.
There could be a little more emphasis on it, Could be a lot more emphasis on American history.
I learned the importance of knowing how they served our country, and it's not always how they survived the war. They could serve our country in many ways.
Army veteran Tammy Garcia Taylor's presence was significant for Julia Mace.
I served during the time of Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So I was part of that initiative. That was during the time when women would just support. We were not on the front line.
She could relate to what we experience, and she could tell us that women had different things they could do and they couldn't do.
Louis D. Masso served in the Air Force for 21 years, but he also attended the Queen's School. He said an event like this would have been incredible during his time there.
I think it would have been helpful in giving me a little bit more perspective at a younger age.
We never experienced those things since we're 12, but to hear from other people's perspectives, it's interesting for us to learn.
As I mentioned, those elaborate drawings were then unveiled in a special ceremony with the veterans.
Please join us in singing.
St. Francis Prep High School is celebrating alumni veterans by telling them to get back to class. But they're not learning, they're teaching. Students gathered for an assembly presentation, and then the veterans joined them in their social studies classes. They discussed and asked the vets about the diversity of their service and how their faith and a prep education stayed with them. For Sergeant Jonathan Alley, that looks like protecting our government IT infrastructure as a cybersecurity expert in the Marines. Whereas Major Alfred Garbarino brought in pictures from his time in Iraq, where he earned a Bronze Star and Combat Action Medal.
It's showing the importance of 1, education, 2, growth, and 3, just, being a better person, being a stronger person. So that's why I love coming back. I love being what I didn't get.
I saw the horribly wounded mortar attack, soldiers missing arms, legs. It was bad, so I carried that with me to the day. I have PTSD as a result of that. And I still pray for the soldiers that I lost. My Catholic faith carries me through that. It really does.
Every year, St. Francis Prep raises money for America's vet dogs. The school names and sponsors a dog that will be trained to help a veteran with physical, emotional, or medical needs. So far, they have provided 5 service dogs and are waiting for a 6th named Kent to be born. St. John's University also paying tribute to its veteran community by holding their annual luncheon on their Queens campus last week. The ceremony brought together more than 100 veterans, including active duty military from all branches of service, to celebrate their courage and sacrifice. During the luncheon, the university paid a special tribute to Technician 3rd Class Say Schwartz, a World War II vet who served in the Pacific Theater and saw combat action at the battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The university was also honored receiving a proclamation from the Queensborough President's Office for their efforts in supporting those who have served. Bishops from around the country are currently in Baltimore, gearing up for their fall assembly, which will kick off on Tuesday. Ahead of their meeting, like they do twice a year, every year, the shepherds gathered in prayer to ask the Lord for guidance as they prepare to vote on some exciting ballots and initiatives for the coming year. One of the most anticipated is the vote for a new president and vice president of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. The terms for the new leaders will begin after this meeting on November 13th. Another exciting vote is in honor of America's 250th anniversary. The bishops will decide on whether to consecrate the U.S. to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And finally, we'll hear a report on the National Eucharistic Revival and a vote to approve the summer of 2029 for the next National Eucharistic Congress. For full in-depth coverage of the bishops' fall meeting, be sure to check out thetablet.org. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history might be approaching the end after the Senate advanced a bipartisan stopgap funding bill Sunday night. 8 Democrats joined most Senate Republicans in moving forward with a short-term funding measure. It does not extend expiring Obamacare subsidies like many Democrats wanted, but Republicans do agree to a vote on the subsidies by early next month. The bill funds much of the government through January, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, through September, and for federal workers, ensures back pay and reverses recent firings. Here in New York, Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens is stepping in to help those affected by the government shutdown. The organization hosting an emergency food pantry for federal workers on Friday at the Monsignor Pfeiffer Resource Center in Howard Beach. There, workers picked up fresh fruits, produce, and groceries as part of CCBQ's commitment to offering food, mental health support, and case management to all those in need during the shutdown. If you are one of them and missed the food pantry, don't worry. The organization says all 60 food pantries in Brooklyn and Queens are open to anyone, no appointment needed. To find one near you, just go to ccbq.org/service/food-pantry-network. You can also call 718-722-6001 for more information. Young people in Brooklyn spent their weekend serving the needy with their annual Friendsgiving. The celebration at the San Damiano Mission in Greenpoint, which included music and dancing, was hosted by the Shalom Catholic Community. During their Friendsgiving, the young people give out winter items such as coats and sweaters for those in need could pick up for free in front of the parish. 8th graders from St. Joseph Catholic Academy out in Astoria hosted their STEM-a-thon Friday. The 8th grade class donned their white lab coats as they put together a series of STEM projects for the kindergarten to 7th grade students inside their academy's STEM lab, showing the kids how science works in the everyday lives and creating a day of fun with hands-on experiments and science challenges. Finally tonight, on the feast day of St. Leo, the Queen's School, named after the former Bishop of Rome, celebrated his life. St. Leo the Great Church and Catholic Academy marched through Corona on Monday after the 9 a.m. Mass, remembering not only their namesake, but the namesake of the first American Pope. During the Mass, the parochial vicar, Father Ernesto Alonso, reminded the students to show the community that they are peacemakers and believe in Jesus as St. Leo did. A monstrance with the Blessed Sacrament, as well as a relic of St. Leo, was also part of the procession. Students say it's a reminder to neighbors of how important St. Leo was.
I felt very special because this means I can do something towards other people, and it can help other people get inspired and etc.
I enjoyed that I got to be part of it and kind of spread who St. Leo was as an individual and how he helped our church and the Catholic community as a whole.
The procession ended at the church's Our Lady of Mount Carmel Chapel a few blocks away, where Father Alonso offered a blessing. The school planned to have activities throughout the day to honor their patron saint. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Katie Vasquez. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Before we go, in honor of Veterans Day, we want to say a prayer for all the men and women who have faithfully served our country. Hope to see you again next time.